So you're single, but are you currently seeing somebody?
Seeing a few people casually.
A few people casually.
We got some players on the bench.
Oh shit!
You got a roster, Tatum?
We got a roster lined up a little bit.
Okay.
It's very easy for women to get the attention of men. Even average-looking chicks can still get a lot of action for the sole fact that men do not operate on hypergamy. Men will date down, across, and up. So even if a guy is 10, he'll still likely sleep with a girl that's 6 because there's no hypergamy to satisfy. She thinks there are players on the bench when in reality, it's more like she's getting passed around by a couple of chads who more than likely know there are other chads. The modern dating landscape is fucked up. I know.
You're going to be putting yourself out there by letting your date go through your phone before they meet you.
Well, that's a great idea. I'm sure it'll end up with these two liking each other.
Okay, she's going to look through your phone first.
I feel like he is shorter than me. He has the weirdest shit in here. He screenshots everything. Like, it's just a slight bit creepy.
Obviously, she thinks she's cute, that's for sure. All these different angles and all that.
Dude, he is so judgy. Like, I was nice to him.
What a lot of people fail to realize is dating through apps is very, very one-dimensional. This is why a lot of pain comes with online dating. You can't read a person's body language, how they treat servers, the tone of their voice, how articulate and smart they are. From a freaking screenshot on a dating app, organic meetings are the best.
Is dating today, in your opinion, harder than it's ever been?
I was friends with my boyfriend before we started dating, and I feel like that's a more natural transition than like seeing features on your screen and trying to make a decision based on like a list of things.
People just try and avoid things because I think they're scared to say things straight up.
Dating has never been harder. Modern women are now bombarded with too many options. What flu then isn't going to fly now? A good, stable job, a nice white picket fence home, a dog, and movies on Saturdays isn't going to be enough for most modern Western women. They want yachts, foam parties, and VIP seats to millionaire clubs.
Like, you're kind of like, oh, I can go find somewhere else. You don't need to have one person when you could have like 5.
Honestly, I don't know. I've had really bad luck. So everything. Like, I've been treated like shit.
I think a big part of it is because of social media.
People see a lot, they exposed to a lot. They're always looking for better.
Varying options, but here's my take. Women have always been hypergamous and practical. However, the modern dating landscape amplified this.
Top 1% of men who are considered as extremely attractive by women, all have this one thing in common. These guys are always polarizing. That means they make a very strong impression when you meet them. How do you exactly polarize? You can show her your vulnerable, softer side. You can cry at a movie.
Okay. Here's the thing. That's generally good advice. Polarization. But here's the major caveat that this lady's not telling you. You gotta have a certain image established first before you can do this. Your vulnerable, softer side only works if you've managed to keep the woman in your frame and you've established yourself as a mysterious bad boy. Here's the thing, fellas. It's much better if a woman thinks you're an asshole and ends up learning you're actually a nice guy versus the opposite. If you move into the front lines of dating with your vulnerable, softer side, you're not gonna get anywhere. Women do not respond well to men who cry. This is just terrible advice.
You're well-traveled. You've been around the world. Different girls, different cities, different states, different countries. In your humble opinion, right? What would you say is the current state of dating for the average guy? Is it worth it?
Ooh, this is gonna be good, guys. Get your notepads out. We gonna break this one down.
Yeah, I think I'll be honest. I don't want to be a pessimist, but let's put it this way: the game is getting harder. The game is getting harder, and if you're sitting out here and you are not trying to level up along with the game, you are going to struggle into eternity. These women have so many choices. They have so many choices, and social media.
Absolutely. The world has drastically changed.
Made that worse. These bitches are sitting at home on their phones all day. They read every DM sent to them.
Facts.
So if you DM a bitch and she doesn't reply, don't worry, she saw it. She saw it, my friend. She just said no. She looked at your profile and you were not interesting enough to get a reply.
Facts. 100%.
That's what it is. So if you actually understand all the DMs you send that aren't getting replied to, then you could probably get a pretty good gauge of where you are in the world, right? Now, no.
Ain't it sad? I find it really disappointing that that's the truth. That reality operates that way nowadays. Everything is on social media. However, the burden of performance is on us men, and we need to level up. If you want to play the game, you gotta be good.
This is a huge red flag. The only men who like to go overseas to find a partner is men who like to prey on vulnerable women. Because when you...
Well, they're not getting picked and dicked, so I guess that's a valid reaction. Women love shaming men for their preferences. Just look at this insufferable bitch. Do you think she has a man at home that tells her he loves her? Nope. Way to go, passport bros.
So there's something that I stumbled upon on my TikTok, and it's something called passport bros. And it's basically American men that are now going overseas to different countries, which we already know about, but they want the women that they're with to remain foreign. So they're not actually intending to bring the women back to the United States because they feel like the women in the United States are kind of like tarnished goods.
Yeah, tarnished by feminism. Make no mistake, bros. When you get into the big cities in Philippines or Thailand, women are just as obnoxious. I would advise you to go to urban areas, rural areas that are slightly urbanized. They're the best of both worlds.
If we consume, something would happen where it's just only a matter of time. We're a ticking time bomb. They're investing billions and billions of dollars to push these agendas, and I would name them all, but I don't even have time. But they're giving you these agendas, and there's a lot of sheep. There's a lot of people asleep. They're comfortable right now. A lot of people took them damn, what do they call them, little checks they gave out?
Stimulus checks.
They took them damn stimulus checks. They took them stimmies and sat home and got PPP loans and went to jail. Yo, there's some dumbass people in this country, man, for real. And the reality is, if you don't know what's going on underneath for Generation Z, look, baby boomers, you're done. Nobody's promoting anything to you. They just read your newspaper and go to sleep. All right, you guys, you know what I'm saying? Like, so baby boomers, they don't market to you. Don't complain. Just wait till you dead. You know what I'm saying? Generation X, which I'm a Generation Xer. Generation X, we're here basically to hold the last of it up, but we don't have any power. The power lies with the millennials and Gen Z. These are going to be the primary educated and educators and workers. Now, millennials already started off wrong. It's a wrap. And then Gen Z, for the women's side of Gen Z, I don't know if you know, they use Seek and Arrangement like a dating app. All right.
Bam.
They use Seek and Arrangement like a dating app. So what they're doing is this.
What is SA?
SA?
Sugar site, right?
It's a sugar daddy site.
Thank you. Okay.
And they use it as a dating app. So if you
We've
want
been
to
telling
y'all
since last year that
we,
shit.
Yeah.
Told y'all
niggas
say we pay for box. We've been
telling
telling y'all niggas, man, since last year.
It's not, and in essence, there is that dynamic there. But what you have to understand is they're selling peace leave.
Facts.
Okay.
The future is indeed dark for dating.
The bottom 80% of men are competing for the bottom 20% of women on Tinder, and the top 80% of women are competing for the top 20% of men. So this means that most men to most women are effectively invisible, and most women to a small number of men are effectively usable.
So are you saying that this is a shift in culture with pay, with jobs, with status, and it's sort of like a byproduct of things, or that women aren't actually attracted to these men?
Again, I don't mean to try and put a downer on high achieving women. There's no reason that they should hold themselves back from doing this, but there is a difficult situation you've got going on here. It's hard for men to raise themselves up because it seems like women outperform men in education and employment when they have the brakes taken off. The only reason that we seem to have male superiority in the past is because women had the brakes put on them. But you can't get around the fact that on average women want to date a man who's more educated than they are, especially when you consider that educational outcomes open the doors to employment opportunities.
Exactly.
I would argue that the brakes are now put on men. Just look at how society treats men, demonized to the fullest extent, yet shamed when they don't work or put themselves in the firing line, since there's no prospect of family or purpose anymore. What sort of country expects its men to labor, sacrifice, and fight for it while simultaneously degrading them? And what kind of ideology implores the very individuals it vilifies to lay down their lives for it during critical moments? The answer is an evil one.
Y'all in the building, what's good? Bald men winning, who bald? Who bald? Your mama. Alright,
Sorry, sweetheart, I'm not bald. Yep.
How about men calling random women whales during their live? Body shaming is okay if it's a man, I guess.
That's 2020.
There you go. Narcissists in training and in their natural habitat.
After a year of being married, it's my birthday today, and my husband finally told me he doesn't love me.
What are you talking? That's not what I said.
What'd you say?
I couldn't buy you a Range Rover.
It's the same thing.
The worst date I've ever been on was with a black guy, and he took me to his car, and that was it.
That was it?
That was it.
The date?
No food, no money, no nothing.
That's the worst date you got, hun?
Oh, boo-hoo. Let me play a sad song for you on the world's smallest violin. This is serious. I know. This really is the world's smallest violin. See?
Is it social media or is it just women?
No,
Yeah, traditional is boring. I like knife play.
It's because.
Hey! No. I didn't get. You like knife play?
Yeah.
Well,
What's that? Why would I not shout? What's knife play? I'm heard of role play, knife play. I'm not heard of knife play.
I don't know. I just like. I feel
What
like
is
I
knife
like
play?
being in dangerous
Oh,
situations.
but
So it's like.
what is knife play?
So you just like. I actually learned it off Angelina Jolie, and I was like, okay, I want to try it. So it's like when you get a knife and you just play around with it. And you can
like on the body, but
yeah,
like.
you can like cut each other, like, but not cut, but like.
Was just leave mark.
Yeah.
Boys, I don't know if I have to tell you this, but I believe that this is a red flag. Well, here's one for the people who don't see color.
So on Tinder, we decided to go out to dinner. This girl is beautiful. We had a great time. I thought she was perfect. But the next few days when I tried to text her, she was either really short with me or she didn't respond at all. So I assumed that she just wasn't feeling it, which is fine. I mean, you know, I get it. Then a couple weeks go by and she texts me like, I miss you so much. We should hang out tonight. Then the next day, same thing happens. If I try to text her, she's either short with me or she doesn't respond at all. Then a couple weeks later, the same thing happened. I'm pretty onto her, but I was like, well, I got nothing else to do. So we go out to dinner again. So we're there and we're having a great time again. And while we're there, we're talking about some meme. It's in my phone, but I couldn't. She then excuses herself to use the restroom. I find the meme and send it to her phone. Her phone then lights up right next to me and I see my name there as Rex, in parentheses, free food. When she comes back, I didn't say anything. But when the waitress brought the checks, I said, we need to split these up. The girl looked at me like I was on fire. I said, I guess I'm not free food anymore.
Women have trouble shutting themselves up.
Hi, Dan. I just moved in next door. I'm a supermodel.
I don't care who the IRS sends. I am not paying taxes.
Jesus Christ. Well, I guess it's worth trying to go to a pool party on your first date. Women have all the privileges in dating. These are literally two different people. You can't make this shit up. Boys, go for natural-looking girls. Boys, we know that already, yeah? Anyway, that's all the time we have for you today. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you next time.